So hello everyone, this is AetherNightmare and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. The microphone is on this time, so hopefully my intro comes through. May have to attach the squadron stuff to the end of this video because, oopsie, mic was not on, introduction was not done. And so, thankfully I didn't really get too started on anything before I noticed, but yeah. Since I updated my PC last night, it had the unfortunate side effect of disconnecting my microphone. So here we are doing the second half of Paladin today. We're going to get our job Soulstone and be able to do more dungeons and raids. So it probably will be a little bit repetitive, just like it was in the last video, but the only way to get these done is to work on them. So let us head out. Thankfully, this video is going to be edited to high heavens anyway, unless you're on Twitch, in which case you get to enjoy all the bloopers, I guess. The very quiet, silent bloopers. Didn't miss too much, I just unlocked more squadron missions. But, yeah. Microphone was not on. Was not connected. Yikes. It's really common for it to do that. Speaking of which, just really quickly, let me go into settings, look at my output for recording, 5,000 and... Okay, that's... Tis not changed. How do I... Uh-oh. Okay, I can close this without... Cool, we're good. It didn't change my settings too much. Paladin's Pledge. Oh, there you are, Bren. Perfect timing. I just heard a juicy bit of gossip that I know you're going to be interested in. Apparently, and remember, you heard this from me, the Sultan Sworn Elite are sharing the secret skills and training of Paladins. Incredible, I know. The Sultan Sworn have an exclusive monopoly on the instruction of Paladin skills. Once upon a time, if you weren't one of those officer track elites, then you had no chance of learning the arts, and competition to get to the top was very fierce indeed, let me tell you. But anyone who joined had to swear an oath of fealty to the Eldan Sultanate, which means no more adventuring, no more daring do, and no more Colosseum, just languishing about in the palace all day, polishing plate mail. That's why this news is so big. Now anyone with a bit of commitment can learn the skills of a paladin, and no memorizing the 55 commandments of the Sworn or any other nonsense either. Sounds like a whole bunch of people either died or got fired. This is a golden, no platinum opportunity that comes once in but a lucky adventurer's lifetime. Let this slip through your fingers and regret will be your just desserts. You need to go to the Royal Pomerade in the Husting Strip, find the captain of the Sultan Sworn Elite, Genlins is his name, and tell him how you're just dying to become a paladin. Okay, Husting Strip is down by the Alchemy Guild. Wait, are you... No, you're not. You're a different alchemist. I thought the guild leader was outside for some reason. I'm like, what are you doing out? You finally getting some fresh air? Yes, I'm Genlins, the member of the Sultan Sworn Elite and servant to the Eldan Sultanate. Unless my instincts deceive me, you've come to inquire about training as a paladin. If so, I would have your name. Bren, a fine name. I bid you welcome and salute your noble resolve. But if you aspire to paladinhood, you should understand what it means. A paladin swears allegiance to the Sultanate. A paladin shall be the sword and shield of the Sultanate. A paladin defends the people of the realm. Sellswords and gladiators and other of their ilk wield their blades for themselves, but a paladin serves the greater good. Do you understand me? The battle arts that the paladin learns have been held secret, nurtured, and perfected within the ranks of the Sultan Sworn Elite for nigh on 600 years. Of all those who have sworn to protect the Sultanate, the soldiers, and the mounted guards and the knights, we are the elite of the elite, our conviction unwavering, our hearts true, and our swords skills without peer. But the glory of the Sultan Sworn, well, much of it is buried in the past now. Our brotherhood grows smaller by the year. We are a shadow of what we once were, and the Sultana turns to sellswords to defend her palace. All this because of one traitor. No, because of a bunch of dishonor left by one who shall not be named. and because of him we have been forced to seek the help of able-bodied adventurers. Sounds like he did you a favor, then. And here you are. We shall instruct you in the Paladin military arts. You will not be inducted into the Sultansworn, but serve as a free Paladin. However, you will show us that both your sword and heart have metal, and that you are worthy of honor. So, basically, I get all the tough jobs, and none of the good pay. Got it. In the ruins of the south of Little Alamico, you will find an iron brazier. Light it, and the undead nearby will be drawn to the flame. Slay those monsters and give their hearts to the fire. Return and present to me their ashes as proof of your deed. Now, would-be Paladin, show me the metal in your heart and steel in your blade. You have any way to DNA test that stuff to make sure I do it right? Of all those sworn to protect the Sultanate, the soldiers, the mounted guards, and the knights, the Sultan's wards are the elite of the elite. We are bound to defend Sultana Nanamo ul Namo, even to the death. Such is the solemn oath we have taken. Yeah, we'll see about that. Anyway, here, Paladin's Pledge. To Little Alamigo we go. Ooh, that's right. They can probably see me. 26, maybe. It depends. I'm level 36, so... I've also got slightly better equipment than last time. I even made myself a new sword. Vintage bastard sword. I had to travel all the way to the Upper Lanasi to get a broken thing from the Kieran. And I just realized that you can't dye these. Which kind of sucks. Anyway, let's mess with the iron brazier. Go all zombie mode. I actually have to remember to use my defensive skills too, because I don't have self-heals. And Ashkin Hearts. Whatever that's supposed to do. If you're in this place, searching for the undead, then you must be a petitioner seeking the secrets of the Paladin arts. I guess that's one way to prove I do it, is just have somebody watch me. But make no mistake, simply learning Paladin swordplay does not make you a Paladin, nor does the armor you wear or the status you claim. I'm just another aging-free Paladin, but you would do well to heed my counsel. Strike off the shackles that bind your spirit, lift the visor that blinds, and find the true path of the Paladin. Do I gotta go to the moon? Here, you'll be returning to the captain, yes? Then give them his crystal. Stare at myself in a mirror and go from Dark Knight to Paladin. The way you use that sword reminds me of a man I used to know. Mine eyes may be old, but they can see the truth well enough. Be a Paladin strong and true. Devote yourself to the way and become a beacon of light. Take this job stone and actually commit. Present the remains to Genlins. I think we can probably go to the Chamber of Rule. It's faster. I keep forgetting it's like right here. Of course it would be. Face the undead monsters, who infest the ruins south of Little Alamigo and southern Thanaland. Defeat them and return with proof of your deed. Yes, that is what I need. Proof that you have defeated the undead. You have shown that your heart is true and your sword has metal. have no doubt that you will prove to be an attentive pupil. That is well, for there is much to learn. First and foremost this, you are a paladin now, a custodian of traditions, ancient and noble. A free paladin has no master. Instead, they travel all lands, and in every place takes the cause of the unarmed and defenseless. You swear fealty, not to a lord, but to yourself. You are nobility amongst adventurers. You have taken your first step on a new path, and you have earned the right to bear this, the soul of the paladin. Upon its surfaces are carved the deeds of paladins of eras past. They who bear it command the respect of all knights of honor. Bahamut's Fang, you've already possessed a crystal? And you say it was given to you by an unknown free paladin who told you to hand it to me? Where is this crystal of which you speak? I demand that you show it to me at once. Yep, each soul stone looks a little different. Curse him. He has made a mockery of the trial. That crystal you bear is indeed the soul of a paladin, but it is disgraced and impure. It was stolen from the Sultansworn. The man who gave you this soul is the very traitor whom I've been seeking these many moons. He is the Oathbreaker who bent the knee to the Oldan Sultanate and who swore allegiance to the Sultansworn, but then single-handedly sullied our name and trampled it underfoot until it was lost, perhaps forever. How dare you give consulate and honor to the paladin way? The soul is polluted, and I must dispose of it. When you come to wield your sword as a paladin, the only soul you may wield is that which is bestowed by the captain of the Sultansworn. That traitor is no Sultansworn, still less a captain. By giving you a soul, he's insulted not only our brotherhood, but you too. Perhaps an adventurer like yourself finds our rule nothing more than a nuisance, but through reigns long and short, our forebears since the Sultansworn have preserved its rituals and traditions, and we are duty-bound to uphold them, even if men and women within our ranks scorn them as relics. It has been my fate to be named captain of the Sultansworn in these troubled times. Though I did not ask for this honor, I have bent my knee to the Sultana, and sworn fealty, and I will fight to restore the honor and name. You wield a skilled blade, and more importantly, you have met the traitor face to face. Your greatest task as a paladin will be to help bring him to justice. You must ready yourself, Marshal, your resources, and hone your skills until the time comes when you are able to discharge your duty. The journey will be long, but you are a paladin now, and honor binds you as surely as an oath. So, Spirits Within delivers an attack with a potency of 270. Also, gotta love the name. It's totally not a failed movie with that skill name. Affinity is only to Paladin. And we get the Soul Stone. Paladin has been unlocked. The souls of the Paladin's path bequeath their wisdom. And since I'm already level 36, the next one should be available to me. But as you can see, I need to equip the Soul Stone to do it. And there's no reason not to equip the Soul Stone. Like I said, you get better skills, better stats, yada yada. By changing your jobs to Paladin, you may carry over the hotbar and cross hotbar settings from the Gladiator. As the actions from Gladiator may also be used when playing Paladin, transferring these skills will allow you to readily play in a similar fashion. This option is recommended for those who have little or no experience with the Paladin. Should you require time to consider, this window will... Oh, gee, no. Do not flub my... changed my hotbar. And delete set, delete Gladiator. It killed my hotbar. I gotta... Oops, my bad. I'm trying to reorganize these things. Give me a minute. Son of a... Mount, dismount. Remove that. Don't need it. Let's do the kick here. This was here. This was here. This was here. This was over here. Fast blade, potency. I might actually put this here and then do my final 1, 2, 3 back over, like, here? That's how I had it looking before. Got shield bash. Roll. Interject. Arm's length. Which for the life of me, I still can't get to cooperate. So instead, where is... I had a new one, Spirits Within. There it is. I'll stick this here for now, as I start to get more skills. Oh, I need to earn Sheltron. I'm like, why don't I have that even though I'm level 36? Because I gotta earn it. As I start to earn more stuff, I'll change this around, but in the meantime, as silly as it sounds, I might have my combo, like I said, on a slightly different bar, just so I can press X on my controller and not have to worry about it too much. Captain Jenlins wishes to teach you more of the Paladin arts. So you've earned the right to call yourself a Paladin, but how do others treat you? Do they recognize you for what you are? Pretty sure that doesn't matter as a Paladin. I mean, it kind of does, but at the same time you need to uphold your honor and not let it flinch you in any way. Remember that fancy swordplay and well-polished armor do not make you a Paladin. You must be just in your heart and strive always to be an exemplar of true virtue. Once not so long ago, the Sultan Sworn could walk the streets with their heads held high. When they marched by, the small folk would look upon them with reverence and gratitude, and no one was more respected than the captain, my predecessor. When I first saw him, I was still a child. My father had promised to take me to the local festival, but somewhere he took a wrong turn. We became lost and stumbled into a secluded back alley. Luck was not with us, because the next moment we found ourselves in the middle of a riot. Drunken hunters were firing arrows into the crowd, and we were caught between them. There was no way out. It was only a matter of time before we would be struck. That's when the captain saved us from our plight. I've never seen a sword move so swiftly. It flashed faster than my eyes could follow, and in seconds the hunters were on the ground and fleeing for their lives. The captain was down on the street, slicing at their heels, before my father had time to thank him. Even today, I can see the captain as he was back then. Blood on his sword, armor impossibly bright in the sun. After that, all I ever wanted was to be a paladin. I would practice endlessly with my sword, dreaming of bandits defeated by monsters and slain. Even after I became one of the Sultan Sworn, the memory of the captain still inspired me. I was always the first to arrive in the training yard, and the last to leave. And so the years passed, and before I knew it, I found myself named Captain of the Sultan Sworn. Yet the triumph was hollow, because by then the honor of the Sultan Sworn elite and the very thing that had drawn me to the Brotherhood was a mere vestige, like the discarded banner of a defeated foe. There are many reasons for the fall, but the loss of the Oathkeeper, yes, that was the mortal blow. The sword Oathkeeper was bestowed upon the first captain of the Sultan Sworn by the then Sultan of Ul'dah. In time it became our standard, then the symbol of the oaths we had sworn, and it was treasured by each new captain for generations. Possession was proof of the Sultan Sworn's command. Every time he says that, I just think of the Keyblade. But then the unthinkable came to pass. Oathkeeper was stolen by a traitor. It shook our brotherhood to the core. How can we be trusted to protect the Sultana if we cannot even hold on to the symbol of our fealty? We have been tarnished in the eyes of our ruler and ruled alike. If the Sultan Sworn are to survive, we must find the traitor and recover the Oathkeeper. But the Sultan Sworn has grown too weak, and we cannot do it ourselves. We have been forced to recruit outsiders to help us in our cause. I have high hopes for you, my friend. It's a thing we must ask, and you must learn more of our secrets if you are to succeed. In Outer Lanasi, near the Hermit's Hovel, is a grove where the ringtails congregate. Pitting yourself against a host of the beast would be a fine way to hone the skills that I will teach you. In the grove you will find another brazier, this time with the potent incense that will drive the creatures into a frenzy. Defeat your attackers and return to me. Gotta go all the way to Lanasi. Or Lenosia, whatever. I don't care. That was like a perfect crossover music. Go from a epic battle start just to really, really chill music. Ah yes. The true way of the paladin. Fighting monkeys. How is it that you honed the ancient ways? I fought monkeys. Is this teaching me how to learn how to handle crowds when they inevitably fling poo and other things? Lots of monkeys. This does my ring wasn't active. I have to do these one at a time too, because they don't congregate. I can get these two together. For no reason other than I can. The memories of the past have awoken within you. How far back in the past? Because that seems like it'd be a fair ways if I'm having a squabble with lemurs. Well done. You have taken the skills I taught you and made them your own. I still do not have word of where the traitor is hiding, but I will inform you the moment I do. Until then, continue your training. We get our new skill, which is Sheltron, which reduces damage taken by 15. Only for 4 seconds, though, so probably use it, like, right before a super duper big attack. It also costs 50 out of my Oath gauge. Speaking of which, I now get Oath Mastery. Increases Oath gauge by 5 each time an auto attack lands. So not the ones I use myself, but an auto attack. So it's just gonna periodically tick up every couple of seconds then, since I don't control the auto attacks. Power struggles. Captain Genlands has another lesson to teach you. Welcome, Paladin. You should know that word of your deeds has reached me. Few are those who follow the true Paladin path without misstep, but you are one of them. I'm proud to call you one of ours. You have kept the faith, and in return I must have faith in you. It is time that you know of the truth. Though it is hard to share, it is a shame. I would rather keep it hidden from outsiders. Perhaps you remember when I told you of the traitor and the sword Oathkeeper that he stole. His name is I hate some of these names. Solkazygal. And he was my predecessor as the captain of the Sultan Sworn Elite. He was the same man whom I admired as a child, and inspired me to take up the sword to follow his way of the Paladin. He was the paragon of paladins until he changed. I wonder if some of these names are like Norwegian. Some years ago now, there was a struggle of influence between the Sultanate military and the faction within the Syndicate, known as the Monetarists. Monetarists. The latter emerged triumphant, and the army's authority was diminished dramatically. Although Solkazyl was still captain of the Sultan Sworn Elite, he knew his position was perilous, and so he fled, taking Oathkeeper with him. In doing so, he went against the words that had spoken on bended knee before his royal lineage. Now it falls to me as captain to restore the honor and name of the Sultan Sworn. If that means cutting down my former mentor and master, I would gladly do it, for his misdeed cannot be forgiven. But his death will not lift the stain that mars our name. He must be put on trial in a public court so that everyone knows his crimes. Then and only then can we begin to earn the people's trust again. He served for over 30 years as the captain of the Sultan Sworn Elite, and he is a formidable foe. Few can match his skill with the sword. Even together, you and I will find it difficult to take him alive without mortal harm to one side or the other, so you must continue to hone your skills and prepare for the day when you will face him. To complete the next stage of your training, you must do this. Go to the Ugrim River in eastern Thinland and find the brazier which we have placed there. By lighting it, you will draw the ire of the Lepidotes dwelling within the waters. Face the creatures in battle and master your new skills. The fight will not be easy, but if you take to heart what you have learned and let the crystal be your guide, you will triumph. You also get a new Oath gauge. The Oath gauge displays the current strength of a Paladin's Oath, which increases as auto attacks are performed. So in other words, it just ticks up every few seconds without me doing jack shit. A strong oath is required to execute several select actions such as Sheltron, Cover, acquired at level 45, and Intervention, acquired at level 62, and will grow weaker upon using them. Using certain actions will increase the oath gauge. So some things can increase it. So, our icon's a little different now. It's also... Sentinel. Reduces damage taken by 30%. Alright, we're starting to get into these. Yikes. Oh no. Duration 15 seconds. I like that better. I'll put Sheltron in the... It's already in the other gauge. For when you need to be defensive. super defensive and nothing else. Yeah, we don't get our part 2 of our AoE until level 50. Yeah, so much of this is just shielding, which I guess we are a tank, but still. Yeah. I'm gonna really have to think about how I want to order this hotbar. It's gonna be different than Marauder, which is just DPS with tanking capabilities. Make sure we technically... Ooh, yeah, it didn't transfer it over. Let's make sure auto attack is still actually in the bar. There we go. Automatically attack your current target with a set interval. Thank you. So let's put limit break in here. Somewhere. We rarely use it, but... I forgot I was working on, like, treasure maps and stuff, too. Anyway. Let us head out towards the duty. I think for Paladin I had, like, a field one and then a dungeon one. Like I said, I may eventually switch to keyboard. If only to have full access to my roster, but I really like having movement on controller. If only there was a way I could do, like, left hand controller and then right hand all my keys. Maybe there is. Might really have to look at the customization options. Ah yes, the greatest oath of the Paladin. Go fishing. So yeah, the reason you get multiple taking abilities too is, as you can see, I just used one, but you really don't want to use the next one until this one runs out. Don't combine them. Wait for them to run out. So for example, now that my other tanking stance is down, I can use Sentinel instead. What order you use them probably depends on what, like, bosses you're fighting and what skills and rotations they're gonna use for you to match them in kind, but in really basic scenarios like this, you can just use them side by side. Memories of the Paladins have awakened within you. Could report back to Genlands, or I could wait until I'm level 45. Decisions. Yeah, are these... Oh, I already have, like, corn stuff. That's why. I guess I can get my next skill. Since I'm already in Thanalan, I can return back. Then I'll do hunting stuff. Good, you've mastered your new skills and made them your own. But much work remains to be done before you can face the traitor Solkazil. Solkazigel. We are close to finding him, and our net draws tighter, and it grows even more important that we make ready for the moment when the fish must at last be landed. We get Prominence. Delivers an attack with a potency of 100 to all nearby enemies. Combo action, total eclipse. Oh no. It begins. I get to reorder my whole... Okay. Okay. Yee. Actions and traits, I guess I gotta... What's this? Toggle back through nearby enemies? No. It's only if I want to do it from the menu. Well, now that I have two, damn it, I need to completely reorganize this, so... Alright, Genlins, what do you got? Poisoned Hearts. Welcome, friend. Welcome, friend. 2 words. Interesting. I have important news for you. In my search for the traitor, I have been looking through old records and discovered something chilling. Around the time of the traitor Solkazil was named captain, several famed soldiers of the Sultan Sworn met with untimely deaths, but strangely our records do not say how they died. Curious, I begged for in favor of an old friend and received permission to inspect medical records kept by Frondale's Fontisserie. I discovered that the soldiers died in various ways, some in combat, some suddenly at night in the barracks, but in nearly every case there were signs poison had played a role in their demise. Remember that, because it's going to come up again in the future, much later. Yes, poison. Carefully, invisibly administered. The more I read, the more I saw the dark hand of death's embrace at work. Assassins in the pay and service of the Monetarists, a society so secretive that few believe it truly exists. But no matter how skilled and devious the assassins, they should not have been able to kill so many of the Sultan Sworn's elite without being discovered. Not that this is without help from within our own ranks. So I asked myself, who had the most to gain from their deaths? One by one, the former captain, his trusted aides, and the most capable of the Sultan Sworn who might become future commanders, all of them slayed by an invisible hand. And with their deaths, this was a way open for Solkazil to become the Sultan Sworn's youngest captain in a century. The Monetarists were plotting to kill the best and bravest of the Sultan Sworn, to purge its ranks of greatness, and to enervate it so it could no longer carry out its duty to serve as sword and shield to the Sultanate. Which begs the question, how did Solkazil remain captain for 30 long years? How did he avoid the poison's kiss when men better than him had succumbed? There can only be one explanation. He was the Monetarist's cat's paw, the turncloak in our midst. Needless to say, I am more determined to track him down than ever before. While I continue my investigation, I shall have a trial for you. I want you to seek out the gallant armor, the legendary raiments worn by generations of the finest soldiers of the Sultan Sworn. In accordance with the Sultan Sworn tradition, oh, this is going to be my new outfit. The set that would be yours has been scattered across southern Thanalan. Don't you just, mint me a new outfit? Why would it be strewn across Thanalan? Each piece has been locked within a coffer, which will be guarded by 2 men. Oh, you're making it a trial. Okay. Last time it was because it was old. I'm like, am I wearing old armor? Why would I be wearing old armor? But no, they make gaining each piece part of, a test. They're hazing me. You must best the Sultan Sworn themselves if you're to claim the armor. It feels rude to call me by my real name because you're just a stranger. Nah, I'm good with Bren. You can call me Bren. It's what I name all my characters, and it's what I refer to myself on stream, so Bren's fine. Ooh, I actually liked the other map better, but... Let me go. Gotta go out the door first. I'll go south. Somebody must have been here. There they are. Oh, one's a mage. The other one will probably follow if I come over here. There we go. stunned. I can't move. There we go. Can I open the treasure chest? Claim my reward. Thank you. Armor? I can probably just equip it right away. Probably down below, isn't it? I'm afraid that if I jump, I'm just gonna... incur wrath. Do get falling damage and then be too weak. The mage, the other one will probably follow. Yep. And I'm stunned. Might as well use this until the other one charges. Fancy that. You're not the only one who can kick people in the face and stun them. I can do it too. Pants? Looks like pants. Yep, it's pants. Sisterhood of the Battling Pants. Have I ever watched One Piece before? No, I haven't. I know other people that are really into it, though, so they keep pestering me to watch it. It's just so big. And I'm currently in the middle of Hunter x Hunter as my shonen evening, have no brain juice left show of choice. I'm getting through that shonen catalog, slowly but surely. Since I usually have one long-running shonen series going at a time that I watch on days where I'm not quite ready for bed yet, but I still need something to just ease me to sleep. Something just chill, you know? So I finished a regular season of Naruto, I believe, last year. And so now I'm starting up Hunter x Hunter since Shippuden is on a different streaming service. So I'll switch eventually, but for now I'm going with what's available to me. You guys all spawned way outside the circle. It's really come back to prominence with the live action that came out on Netflix. I don't know if that's any good or not. I've heard people say that who like One Piece that they like the live action. Which is interesting to hear about any live action anime. Normally that's a totally different conversation. Isn't it still ongoing? The anime? I know the mangaka a while ago said he was going to wrap it up, but I don't think he has. Has he? Okay, I've got all the pieces. Let's return back to Ul'dah. I'm still watching current season of Demon Slayer, since that's shorter. Currently going through Utena with another friend. She's already seen it before, so she can point out all the fun things about it. Since that is not a show you watch casually, that is a show you watch if you actually want to dissect every single frame. Good, the armor is yours. You have learned your lessons well and honed your skills, and now you are ready to face Solkazil the traitor. Yes, the time has come. I have discovered his hiding place and have made contact through emissaries. We are negotiating the return of the Oathkeeper. Secrecy is crucial, as is preparation. We will leave only when you are ready. Parlay in the Sagoli. The recovery of Oathkeeper will be the first step in restoring the honor of the Sultan Sworn. I have told Solkazil that if he returns the sword, we will give him a fair trial. Otherwise, he shall be captured and thrown at the feet of the Sultana for judgment. The parlay is to take place in the Forgotten Springs of the Sargoli Desert. Give me your map and I will mark the location. While I believe he is acting alone, we must be prepared for anything. You may be certain that the Monetrists will not take kindly to his surrender. In fact, I believe that should the Monetrists discover Solkazil is willing to parlay, they will surely try to intervene. Therefore, we must not speak of what we do, not to anyone, yet we have this conversation out in the open. We should travel separately, as to not attract attention. We shall meet again at the parlay. Which is... You're so far up to episode 40, I'm assuming, of One Piece. You just say it's good, you don't want to spoil it. Yeah, I keep getting recommendations. Like I said, it's just one of those things again. I've got so many other things I'm in the middle of watching. I'm up into the 30s for Hunter x Hunter at the moment. We're in the Battle Tower arc. Or I'm in the Battle Tower arc. I'm watching that one by myself. I'm watching Utena with another friend, but... Nothing appears to be here. This feels like a trap. So you dared to come. You're a brazen one, I'll grant you that. But did you really think I wouldn't find out? Find out what? Come, confess. My allies within the Sultan Sworn have told me the truth. I know you're working in league with the traitor and the Monetrists. I'm really not. Confess with your dying breath. You will tell me where I can find the Oathkeeper and the traitor who stole it. I really didn't do it, sir. All this stuff was happening before me. Do you dare accuse my own Sultan Sworn of lying? We are comrades in arms, every one of us, bound in brotherhood by our oath. I would trust them with my life. What is your word when set against theirs? We know the meaning of honor. You're a naive fool. I suspected you from the beginning, ever since you showed me the soul of the paladin that the traitor Solkazil gave you. You were, no matter how briefly, a paladin, and as such you are bound by a code of honor that is unforgiving as in any noble. So I don't even get a trial, huh? Traitor, I sentence you to death and decree that your body shall lie here and feed the crows. What evidence? I went to the place you told me to go! The audacity! You've only sent me here to kill me. How do I know you're not the traitor, then? We got a healer. Because if that's all you're basing this accusation on, I can just as easily point the finger at you, sir. Yeah, this isn't even a full set of armor yet. We're eventually going to get another piece with the 50 quest. You cannot do this. I am the greatest swordsman. You're superior in every way, though. You were blinded, Genlins, by your own conviction. Genlins, remember your own lesson. A paladin does not exist to defend his position or the honor of his fellow Sultansworn. Those men were assassins in service to the Monitress. The moment you outlived your usefulness, you were to be killed. And this free paladin of yours. Liar, you're their agent. You betrayed us for them. And yet, I prevented an arrow from going between your eyes. You were always naive, Genlins, too willing to trust your fellow man. It's one of your virtues, but you have a deplorable habit of turning your virtues into vices. Think, the information you uncovered, how did you come by it? Did it fall into your lap? As if, oh, I don't know, someone was feeding it to you for their own purposes? You and the paladins under your command are the Monitress lapdogs. Genlin, you've been led a merry dance and followed their lead every step. You were too trusting in the code, and the code betrayed you. Then you were never a traitor. You were innocent. I'm the one who wronged you. Easy now, your wounds aren't mortal, but you still need to rest. It's gotta be so heavy with that armor. Both of them wearing armor. I'll take care of the captain. He's had worse, and we'll have him back on his feet soon enough. You've become a fine warrior, and learned all there is to know about the way of the paladin. I think perhaps that you are not aware just how much you've grown. Well, 'tis time you were made aware, paladin. When the captain's recovered, keep an eye on him for me, will you? He needs someone like you to watch his back. The worlds of Solkzeel have awakened the memories of paladins past. And I just realized I left my privacy bar up in the cutscene. Dang it. Oh well. The only reason he fainted was because of my embarrassment in accusing me. I mean, to be fair, I did kick his butt. With some of these moves, quite literally. Sir, I was a warrior before this. I know how to fight dirty in Paladin's armor. Paladin, I've done you a great wrong. I allowed myself to be hoodwinked, accused of treason, and even turned my sword against you. I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive me. As for me, yes, I'm recovered from my wounds, at least those that will heal, but far more important than that, Solkzeel is innocent after all. He was never a traitor, and the dream that followed in my youth was not a lie. I remain captain of the elite, though a poor substitute for my predecessor. I am now working on a plan to strike back at the Monitrists and restore the Sultansworn to its former strength. No, do not be afraid of me. We've unmasked the foe, and he cannot hide behind his deceptions anymore. The assassins won't find it easy to reach me. For now, I will bide my time, marshal my strength, and when the time is ripe, strike hard at our enemies. Alright, we get cover. So if something's gonna hit other people, I can get it to hit me instead. And we need to be level 50 to take on the next part of this, so we already have cover on our command board, because I prepared for it. So, I guess we queue up. Okay, so we are ready to do the final part for Paladin. I'm just recording this in my own time, so let's just get it over with. Keeping the Oath, level 50. This is going to be the final Paladin quest. Genlins wishes to bid you farewell. Welcome, Paladin. I had hoped to see you before I left. You remained a true friend, even after the wrongs I did to you, and I owe you my trust, so I will tell you everything I have learned. After our encounter in the hills, I spent some time in the care of Solkzeel, recovering from my wounds. As I convalesced, he gave me a true account of what happened these last few years in his solitary war against the Monitorists. My phone was blocking the view. After he went into hiding, he tried to get word to me about what was happening, but I was surrounded by agents in the play of the Monitorists who kept me isolated and ignorant. They planted the lie that Sol Kazil was a traitor, and tricked me into tracking him down. I was their puppet, twitching obediently at the end of strings that they pulled. But when I discovered that Death's Embrace had been behind the demise of my brothers and sisters, they panicked, especially when they found out I had shared the information with you. They set a trap for us and baited it with the promise of a parlay with Sol Kazil. Sol Kazil was no traitor, and I should well have known, but I allowed myself to be deceived by the whispers of murmurs and flatterers, and no, that was not the way of it. It was not their lies that made me blind, but my desire, nay, obsession to restore our honor. For the Sultan Sworn and all paladins who have bent the knee to a higher cause, honor is a means to an end, not an end itself. I lost sight of that, and in doing so, lost sight of my true duty. Sol Kazil understood what was happening, and that is why he gave you the soul of the paladin. It was a remonstration, a message. Look how adventurers live, he was telling me. Where does their honor, their authority come from? I owe my possession to the machinations of the Monitorists. They calculated that a young captain, eager to prove his loyalty, bound by unquestioning fealty, would be all the easier to control. And they were right. And that's also why I don't completely identify with paladins. I'm a sham and a fake. But the world does not know that, and even the illusion of power is a power of sorts. I can use it to fight back. I will tell my subordinates that I'm fleeing to Snowcloak and Corthus. When the Monitors hear of this, as they surely will, they will send assassins after me again. But when they show their hand, I will stand my ground and fight back. I realize you may wish to offer your assistance. However, I cannot in good conscience put you in harm's way anymore. You too have become a target of the Cabal's assassins. The odds will be against me, that much is certain, but Sol Kazil has taught me much, and if I am brave and vigilant, I know I can triumph. I'm sorry you've been caught up in our own political struggles, but now, as a paladin, it's time you traveled your own path. Ah yes, Sol Kazil wished to have a word with you as well. You'll find him in Central Thanalan. Excuse me. Allow me to mark the location on your map. Quest accepted. Yeah, that's the part I disagree so much with about paladins, is the whole, oh, you must remain virtuous and true, and it's like, I'm sorry, but actual compassion comes through hardship and self-reflection, not through remaining some self-sense of purity. I could go out this way, or I could literally come out the Central Thanalan. Exit for free. They are probably down in one of these tunnels, if I had to guess. They're either in this tunnel or up above on the railroad tracks. They are going to be up above on the railroad tracks, so as soon as I pop out, about face, this way, hard to tell. No, I'll head down. It looks like there would be, but there isn't a path. Here? Yeah. Thank you for coming. We haven't much time, so I'll be blunt. Genlins will die if he faces Death's Embrace alone. I know what I must do, and I suspect you do as well. If you are the person I believe you to be, then we will meet again soon. Meet with Sol Kazil. And Genlin's up in... Oh gosh, that's a ways. I know you had wanted to do it in Corthus, but did you have to do it all the way over there in Corthus? They need more teleport crystals in Corthus. Some of the smaller zones have them. Like in the Shroud, there's an upper crystal and a lower crystal. Why can't Korthus have one here and then maybe have one, like, over here? Down by one of the other villages. Or maybe... No, there is a village. There's a village right here. Why can't these both... Because I'm probably going to do Dragoon next, and that's going to be a pain in the butt to navigate to and fro from. Level sync to 50, because this is our final test. You as well? I told you to go to ground. This isn't your fight. First Sulk Zeal, now you. Are you both so eager to die? You forget that we are paladins. Whatever our duty leads us, we go, and do of our own free will. To abide by one's own sense of justice is to embrace the paladin's creed. Sworn or unsworn, we are the paladins true, and the only true oath we swear is the one we swear to ourselves. Now come, let us stand shoulder to shoulder and show the black hearts the metal of our souls and the steel of our swords. So let me guess, probably gotta get both of these. My paladin stance isn't on. This one's damage over time, right? I haven't used it yet. Yeah, it is a little bit of damage over time. I see, it recharges. Gotta remember how to play as Paladin. Since I kinda doubt anybody's coming to save me. It's just us, boys. Surely the Mattress would grow to greater lengths than this. Those void scent were called forth by a mage who I expect is observing as we speak. Spread out and search for anything unusual, but tread lightly. This could very well be a trap. Locate Death's Embrace Master. Assuming further ahead? No, it's just a fire. Still technically in a dungeon, so I can't ride this chocobo. Oh, no wonder I couldn't see it from here. It hadn't loaded in. Oh, I did turn off other characters in battle animation, so it won't overload my PC quite as much. Won't cause as much glare and flare when I need to play hopscotch with the enemy patterns on the ground. What sorcery is this? Appears to be a glowing, floating book. Likely the work of our mage. It pulses with a strange light. Up above, it's the mage. The grimoire, it's a trap. Is my tank stance on? Yeah, it is. Oh, you're gonna come to me? Fine. You can make my day a little easier. I don't mind. Did he summon something? Yeah, he did. Magics are not to be trifled with. Could probably let them handle that. Here's hoping, anyway. I don't know. Alternatively, I could do that. And then, where'd he go? Oh, he's following me. The vast majority of them to pay attention to me. Including possibly the dragon. It to... You can see me selecting targets sometimes, and it still doesn't like to play nice. There, now I kicked him in the balls. You could see me selecting it. We must be having some ping issues this morning. You've well done. You've never flinched from your duty, and you followed the path you knew you had to take, and you showed us what it means to be a paladin. And you even managed to prize the scales from Jenlin's eyes while you were at it. It must be an honor to know you, and to watch you grow. In any case, today's battle should blunt the Monitress' dagger, at least for a little while. They'll think twice about sending assassins after the Sultan Sworn again. Here's hoping. You know, you say that, but... yeah. If you know, you know. I trust you will see to this mess, Jenlins. If I can get words out. Yes, sir. I mean, Captain. Please, sir. Return to the capital. Take up your command again. The burden. It's too much for the likes of me. The Monitress may have stolen the Oathkeeper, but the oaths are not forged in steel. They're sworn in the heart. You never betrayed your oaths, Jenlins, and for your leadership, we asked this paladin if they learned anything from you. I mean, we say this, but I'm mostly self-taught. This is going to be true of every class. Pretty sure. No matter what the circumstances, once a man has left the Sultan Sworn, he cannot return. No, I followed my own path, and on it I will stay. Well, that gives me more questions for the future. Things I can't talk about. I've followed you since the day I vowed to take up ranks of the Sultan Sworn. Has the time come for me to stop following and begin to lead? Thank you for coming. Once again, you have placed me in your debt. See me in the city when you return. I have something for you. I feel like the way he carries his shield would be very hard to reach with it being that tiny. I know the rest of us carry our shields that way, but like getting it off your back in time to, I don't know, use it seems like it would be a hassle. Also, we have awakened the soul of the paladin. Woohoo. Where are we going now? Back to Korthus, I would assume? We're in Korthus. It's still morning for me. Gotta wait for my coffee and onion chive bagel to kick in. You've come, Paladin. These have been troubled times for the Sultan Sworn, and you've served us loyally. You did was just, followed the Paladin way, and defeated the weak and needy. You're a true Oathkeeper. Honor and right were yours from the very beginning, and that's what made you strong. Strong enough to defeat me. The sword Oathkeeper is yet to be found, but I have come to realize that I do not need it. Nay, not to lead the Sultan Sworn, nor to restore our good name. The oaths we keep are in our hearts, not in hallowed blades. It kind of makes me wonder if we're going to go after it in, like, Heaven's Word or future quests. Sol Kazil has been left to wander the nations of Eorzea. He's a man of honor, and unless I'm very much mistaken, he will continue to look for the sword that was gifted by a ruler centuries ago. Kind of makes me wonder if he's going to be our quest master in the future. I shall continue to serve Ul'dah as one of the Sultan Sworn. You shall defend the people of Eorzea as a free paladin. Our paths diverge now, but we shall be forever bound by our oaths we keep in our hearts. Nah, but listen to me. Noble words aren't much good for an adventurer who has to face monsters and menaces out in the real world. Fortunately, I have something that'll serve you rather better. The sacred armor has been kept with the Sultan Sworn for many generations. It was given only to the Sultan Sworn who had, through feats of arms and deeds of great courage, earned the privilege to wear it. But something tells me that, for the first time since it was left at the Armorer's Forge, this armor should go to someone who is not part of the Sultan Sworn. If I'm allowed myself to a slave to tradition, the paladin who deserves it most would never wear it. Now, wouldn't that be a waste of a fine plate? Just one thing. If anyone asks where you got it, you mustn't say it was me. I mean, it's gonna be really obvious that I have it. But anyway, we get a Gallant Surecoat. Level 90? Item level 90, I was gonna say. Item level 90 Valor Armor. And we get the move Hallowed Ground. Renders you impervious to most attacks. So it's another goddamn shield. I'm gonna have to find a spot to weasel that into my command board, but the souls of the paladins bequeath you their wisdom. This concludes the Paladin quest for Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. In order to undertake the next series of quests, you must first meet the following requirements of beating the game. Once you have done so, the next Paladin quest will be available from Genlands. Well, it starts with him. I don't know if it's going to end with him. I get a feeling I'm going to eventually go on a journey. But there we go. That is it for the Paladin quests. Now, we do have the new level 50 piece of armor, which is this. So this is the official early game of Realm Reborn Paladin armor. It's exactly what he wears. Let's also open that treasure coffer. Said item level 90, which this is 46, so it probably gives us that too. Oh, it's everything. It's a double. Idiot. Now that I've opened it, I have to store it all. I think it's a double of everything that we have. Did I get any new, like, swords or anything? I could have stored it as one thing. Now I have to stuff it all in the treasure. In the, damn it. In my armory chest. Let's see if there's anything. We can save it for now, but no, there was no additional weapons, but I did start forging some other stuff, which is eventually, where is it? Ancient sword, no. I could have sworn I started working on, unless it's still on my item level. Item thing. Yeah, it is. I did make the Aeolian Shmitar, which is going to be used in the future, in a future video, because I'm not going to do it in this video. The A Realm Reborn ultimate weapon for Paladin, but since we can only take one of those quests at a time and I'm still working on Marauder, I'm thinking maybe in the future I might fuse these quests at the end of the job quests. I'm not sure, or I might do them in between other videos. We'll see. I don't know. This whole Final Fantasy MMO business has been one gigantic mess, so I see, I guess we'll see where it goes. But there's just one other thing. Now, you see, I've already reached level 50 in a tank before, and as a result, this fancy schmancy armor is nice and all if I was still in the first half of the game, but, yeah, We've already been here before. I can do the same equip that I had on my warrior for a much, much, much higher item level. So with that, this is where I'm going to call it for the Paladin Job quests and start working on something else going forward. But thank you so much to everybody who's joined me for these series of Paladin Job quest streams. I think I'm going to start with Dragoon next, but I'm not entirely certain, and I know it's been very, very long. If you are watching this in post, it's probably like a 1 to 2 hour video, but it took about 8 hours. It took at least 8 hours. And it's going to continue to be that way for future jobs as well, especially since I'm going to have to get different post-game armor sets for those. But with that, this is where I'm calling it. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined, and I hope to see you all in future videos and streams. And if you want to see more Final Fantasy XIV content, remember to like and subscribe. Okay, bye-bye!